Warning, the following podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and events depicted in this podcast are not based on fact. Do not try anything you see or hear in this podcast at home. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Mr. Pickup Trucker Podcast with the Transporter, Porters Corners, and Calvin Campers.
All right, what's up, guys? We'll go ahead and welcome everybody to the Mr. Pickup Trucker Podcast. This week, we're going to start off with going ahead and talking about maintenance and repairs, like kind of what goes on and what we do as a general monthly, weekly, whatever we got going on, right? So everybody does their maintenance program just a little bit different. So let's start off with Seth. What's your maintenance routine? What do you do?
For mine, I do every 10,000 miles, I do oil changes. Every 20,000, I do fuel filters and oil. And then what I've been doing at 100,000 mile intervals is like transmission fluid, filter, rear end fluid. And then what I do for like brakes and wheel bearings and all that is I do like a spring and fall type thing. So in the spring, I pull everything off, check everything. In the fall, before it gets cold, do the same thing. And wheel bearings is kind of a pain, but that's my truck has it's two wheels, so the front's like a trailer.
Yep.
And
spindle bearings.
Yeah. So I pull those apart and I just replace them. So they get replaced at least once a year, whether they're bad or not. And it's just a good way to check it and all that. But as far as the rest of it, like your batteries and all that, they tell you when they go. Like mine go every 2 years. Like oil. Yep. Antifreeze, that's something I never changed until here recently when I did my fan clutch.
Okay.
Then I had to dig into everything, and I was like, yeah, it's original antifreeze, 350,000 mile antifreeze. So, that got changed out, and that actually got changed out twice in the process because it didn't work the first time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for maintenance. I just try to stay on top of it, and I try to look over everything, at least once a month, get your eyes on everything, crawl underneath the truck, look for leaks,
Yep.
Especially when you're at home in your driveway and there's no oil spots, and you start up the truck and go to move it. Look for it, look for stuff like that. Look for signs of things going bad. Sometimes even at when I get fuel, I'll get under there. I'll just kneel down and look and make sure, I'm not spewing nothing, whatever.
Right.
And,
look.
Yeah. Yeah. And, that falls into the breakdown. You're always going to have a breakdown of some sort, no matter what, you're putting hundreds of thousands of miles on a truck, but the better the maintenance you're doing, the better you're going to be prepared for that. And
100%.
if you're doing your own maintenance, the breakdowns are easier because you're aware of what's going on. If you hear a noise, you're like, oh yeah, when I was doing that, I've seen this, or,
Yep.
Those little things click better because you're in it. Your truck from front to back. If you're the guy that's just taking it to a dealer, you're not going to know. You're not going to know that little knocking noise or clicking noise by your wheel is something you maybe saw last time and you thought it'd be all right. But yeah, as far as breakdowns, the way to be prepared for that, I mean, set money aside, but have a good credit card is how I would do it. A real good credit card. If you don't have that, then you need to have at least $5,000 sitting somewhere, that
Minimum,
you can, you can bail yourself out with, or have access to it somehow, because you break down on the road like a water pump. If you take that to a dealer, like you could be $2,000 easy. 100%. Yeah, easy. And you got to be prepared for that. You're not always going to be able to fix everything yourself on the road, and sometimes you just have to bite that bullet. I've been fortunate so far, but yeah.
Let's go into that real quick, right? So a water pump. You did your own water pump 8 months ago, right? Somewhere in that range. Last year.
I took it off, put a new one on. It was the wrong one, so I put the old one back on. But yeah.
So at that point, if you sit there and think about it, let's just go. How many hours do you think it paid by the book to do that repair?
Oh,
I mean, how many hours do you have into it, and then you might as well go ahead and subtract 3 to 4 because you've never done it.
Yeah. It's probably a 10-hour deal.
So I mean, most dealers are pushing high hundreds, low 200s. 10 hours at $200. Do the math. I mean, just your labor is $2,000.
Yeah.
Just labor. That's no parts. That's no gaskets, no coolant, no nothing. So just to help put this into people's minds of just the labor. If you got to go ahead and do this on the side, to a dealership in Nebraska, you're gonna have a $2,000 to $3,000 setting aside just to be able to slap down for a water pump. So it's part of it, right? You got to do it. So okay.
Yeah, Justin, you get into something more serious, you're in big trouble.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No, it's 100% stupid money to repair these things.
In working with these transport companies, they might not all do it, but if you have a friend like myself who's in the area with a trailer, they might be able to get you back to home, home base where everything's cheaper, right?
Exactly.
Somebody, or you have a discount at a store, or just, if you're out on the road on the interstate and you're going to the shop that's half a mile off the interstate, you're paying top dollar. You're not getting a deal.
If they know that you're hurting, they're not going to take it easy. You know what I mean? Like they know that you're time constraint, you're, needing to get home, you're needing to do whatever. They're just going to rake you over the coals. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. It's 100% the truth. So, Justin, what's your maintenance plan look like? Like mileage for
what maintenance plan?
Well, that's up to you. I wouldn't recommend that one, just for the record.
I do oil 10,000-12,000, and I do transmission 50 to 60, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then I do my drive line at about 100. Front end, rear end transfer case.
Yep.
And I don't know. I've always been the do-it-yourself guy, so for the most part, I keep a pretty good eye on it, and I carry a pretty good amount of tools in the truck because I've needed them.
Yep.
Not because I want them or whatever.
Right.
I had to pull the intake off of this truck a couple weeks ago and fix a fuel leak. And if I didn't have a good set of tools, it would have been a nightmare.
100%. Now
I'm gonna add something in there. When I'm working on my truck at home, I have a bag of tools for my truck.
Yep.
And if I'm working on something and there's a tool that I have to grab out of the barn to work on my truck, that tool goes into my bag.
I was just about to talk about that.
Yes.
So you have it on the road. It does suck when you're working on a project at home. You're like, man, I got to go to my truck and get a tool out. But if you're on the road somewhere, it's nice to have it for sure. And I have a lot of random tools in my bag.
So I'm one of those people that, I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with Tecton tools, but their socket, I've never had a problem with their socket. I broke the ratchet because I was doing stupid things, but they're lifetime warranted. And a standard deep wall, maybe $8, $10, if that.
Yeah.
So there's been so many times I'll just same thing like Seth just said. If I pulled it out of a tool set to do brakes or whatever, a lot of GM is 10, 13, 15, 18, 21. I went out and bought those special tools, those special sockets, spent the $30 or whatever for the total, or 50 or whatever it was, and put it in a tool bag under the back seat. So if for whatever reason, I have it right there. So I don't know if you guys do the same thing or not.
No, I've got a Montezuma toolbox, and I have complete sets: 1/2-inch drive, 3/8, 1/4 inch, metric and standard. But I don't know. I'm a tool guy. I've got ratchet wrenches. I've got standard wrenches. I have a Montezuma toolbox, and I don't know if everybody knows what those are or not, but they're basically like a mechanic's toolbox, and they have a specific place for everything. And I have it completely full. But, I want to be able to tear something apart. If I got to tear it down, I want to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not
correct.
I'm not messing around. And I even, so I have some spare stuff that a lot of guys don't think about. I have an alternator. I have a starter. I have idler pulleys. I have a tensioner pulley and the tensioner itself. I have front wheel hubs. I have like wheel studs and lug nuts. Of course, I got your standard oil and antifreeze and whatnot. I get in the truck.
That's a lot of weight to carry around.
Those are just standard things. It is, but you know what? I've lost a front wheel bearing on the side of the road.
Oh, I'm not saying you're dumb for it. I'm just saying the weight alone, depending on what you do, could kill you. Just with, if you have all that, you're talking 1,000 pounds easily on top of what
No, hell no. My truck don't weigh as much as yours does, Steve.
Well, I'm just saying that's a lot of weight in that truck. That's a lot. But, it's good to have that. Even if you just help somebody else on the road, or whatever, that makes out for a good ability to be a helping hand to people. I don't know about you guys, but anytime I can sit there and somebody at the yard has something going on, if I can help them, if I can throw 5 minutes of my time, if I have the time available, my clock and all that stuff, I'll throw in a few minutes to help somebody out. So, but no, that's good. So like my maintenance is every 10,000 miles, I do oil change. That's, oil, filter. I actually got to the point where I started just saying, screw it. Fuel filters for my truck are $20 or $25, and I'm gonna get them on sale. I'll buy like 5 or 7 at a time and throw them in the garage. So I do an oil or a fuel filter, an oil change, and rotate every 10,000 miles. Driveline fluid every 100. So I do my differential, transfer case, transmission, rear differential, all that at the same exact time. I run front to back, boom, and get it done. And that way I just know that. And I have mine timed like at 200, at 300, at 400. It's not, 333 or, goofy like that, goofy numbers. It's right on that 100,000, just so it's easier for my brain to remember and go about doing so. So, and tires, obviously I get them whenever needed. Like you said, batteries, I've noticed about 1.5, 2.5, somewhere between year and a half and 2.5, I'll need a set of batteries for a few $100. Coolant, I'm not gonna lie, I went ahead and kind of forced to change it all the time when you got crap going on. Like I didn't choose to change it. I had other stuff going where it got dropped, so I just filled it at that point, didn't worry about it. I think at that point. So the curiosity's sake, so Seth, you have a 10-speed, and Justin, you have a 6-speed, right, in that truck?
I have one of each, but
no, I'm talking about brown truck right now.
The brown truck is a 6-speed, yes. Uh-huh.
So how come, Seth, didn't you say you're changing yours every 100,000? I'm not a Ford guy, so this is a legit question.
Yeah.
How come why did you choose to do 100 on your 10-speed, and why are you choosing to do 60? I don't care who goes first, but like what made you say, this is a good interval for me, and it seems to be working? Justin,
go ahead, Justin.
That's sitting there.
Tired of no one believing you? DOT stops for following too close? Don't feel safe when you're parked overnight in a seedy truck stop? Get your Wolfbox today. Link below.
The Mr. Pickup Trucker podcast is an Amazon affiliate.
Okay, so
there's no, in my mind, there's no wrong answer, right? I just want to make sure everybody's clear. It's 100% up to your program. Curiosity.
So I do 50 to 60 because I have a really, really good Ford guy. Okay, like really good, and he basically said, towing all the time, that if you wanted to go, hundreds of thousands of miles, that is, what needs to be done.
Okay. So you just go off of what somebody told you, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it seems to be working with you financially. It's not killing you. And your transmission's obviously lasting you. So it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, the book basically says top it off. And even like the 10-speed, the book, it's basically, it says it's not serviceable. So, I'm going to go with the guy that works on them every day, and he's not a dealer. You know what I mean? It's not like a Ford dealer is telling me that. I mean, this is whatever, third generation Ford mechanics. You know what I mean?
Quote unquote, a backyard mechanic, because he's not at a dealership.
I wouldn't call him a backyard. He's a
I'm not
step
saying he
above
doesn't know what
that.
he's doing, but I mean, just saying, like, he's not a dealership. He's not sitting on the corner with a sign saying "Come to me and spend all your money." And
no, but he is. If you need an engine, he has it. If you need a transmission, he has it. If you need, I mean, basically any part for a Ford truck from like 97 to current, he's probably got it.
Yep.
Like in stock, sitting on the shelf. He'll pull bad motors and overhaul them, and they're just sitting there ready to rock. He'll pull transmissions and rebuild them, and he'll have them. He's ready to go. And then he buys trucks and strips them, and he knows what he's doing. He is a no joke Ford guy.
Nothing wrong with that. Seth, where did you get your information on your trans? Like, what made you choose that 100,000 miles?
So the first time I changed it was 200,000.
Okay.
And I started to get a slip between 7th and 8th gear when it was cold, right? Yep. And I should have done it way before that. I know, but I don't know why I didn't. And as soon as I changed it, it was good. And so from there, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it every 100. And then that's just what I've done. I don't know. I switched it to AMSOIL too. When I took it apart at 200, the pan and everything was spotless. Like there was nothing, no clutch material, no nothing. Like the fluid was pink. Like everything was good. And I'm like, like it's not just the fluid, is what I was thinking. But I threw the AMSOIL in it and took off, and it was fine. So then I just stuck with every 100. Now, my brother-in-law came over last weekend, and he has an F-150 with 10-speed, and he was having all kinds of slip issues. And so we just did a drop the filter, drop the fluid. We didn't flush. We didn't pump the fluid through, nothing like that. We just dropped it, put 7 quarts back in it. And he called me like 15 minutes later. I was like, we have a problem. And I'm like, what is it? It's like, it's shifting really smooth. And I'm like, okay,
That's a good problem, bud.
Yeah. So I've just stuck to that 100, and it's like you're saying, like I did it at 300. I'm doing it at 400. I was supposed to do it last weekend, but I got the wrong filter, but that's in my video. But I'm just doing that 100 interval, and it seems to work. I'm not having any transmission issues. When I do drop it, it's clean. The fluid's not all brown or nasty or whatever. And the same with the oil. Like I'm doing it at 10, and I'm doing it like at 310, 320, 330, 340.
Yep.
You know, that way it's not this oddball number like you're saying. And, you know, I know AMSOIL can go longer than that, but, you know, the truck tells you at 10. So that's
it's
just when I
easy
do
to
it.
keep it going that way. It's easy maintenance. It's easy
Yeah.
to spend a few bucks on oil and a few bucks on a filter to hopefully end up with them high mileage number trucks. My 2 cents, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I feel. Now, you guys don't have any external spin-on filters in your transmissions, correct?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's one thing I forgot to say is Allison does have a external spin-on filter with a magnet, and I change that every 50,000 miles. And so at 150, 250, 3, so on and so forth. It's just one of those things that I think it's great. Now, a little shameless plug, I guess, for AMSOIL, that side of things, like you said, the shifting smoother. We just did See Farmers, and he was just saying how good it was shifting on his and running good. And then I don't know about you guys, but like Chevy, like the 6 speeds, they have a torque converter shutter, and it sounds like a little fart is the way I call it between first and second. So just, and you can feel it rattle through the truck. So at 300,000, I said, all right, I'm switching AMSOIL. So I went at 300, I switched it out. At 350, I drained and refilled again, just because I'm like, more AMSOIL I can get in there, the better. And then I did it again at 400, and knock on wood, we're good with that torque converter shutter. Has been kind of like non-existent. Coincidence? Possibly. I'm not trying to say anything, but it worked. So I'm a believer.
So that was the other thing about my truck. From new, it always, when loaded, like if I jumped on an off ramp and tried to slow down any kind of quick, it would downshift hard and slam. Like, it would slam it. And after I switched it, that went away. Now, a lot of people say that you need to take your truck and get it programmed at Ford or whatever. There's some new update or whatever for the transmission shifting.
Oh,
yes.
But once I switched fluids, that went away. And so I never, I try not to take my truck to the dealer. But
right. Anytime you can stay away from the dealership, the better off you are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. So we have Chris James, Alan Johnson, David Bolton, Robert Cross, Dozer. We even got old C Farmer listening.
So
you guys throw in your questions. Anything you want to hear about, whatever. Why Justin hasn't cut his hair, whatever you want to know, throw it in there.
Yep. Chris James, hit me up on that AMSOIL, bud.
21 of you.
Up with a good deal.
There's 21 of you.
Nice.
There's an AMSOIL link for Steve in the description. There's we're pushing Hotshot Secret and Dude Wipes and washer fluids. Like, if you guys are buying that stuff, go buy it through the links. Help us out. For sure.
And anytime we can get somebody some good products, that's what we're kind of here for. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sell somebody that don't. If you say I don't want it, cool. Not going to push you. You know what I mean? But if you're there, I want to give you the best price out there that I can get you. I know there's a lot of people local that run to a local place up in Elkhart, Goshen, Middlebury area and buy their fluids, and you start talking to them, and it's like, holy crap, you spend how much? Like, let me get you a discount, bud. Let's work with you. Let's do something. So tires. So I've went and talked to people before, and everybody's curious of who runs what tires. So what are you guys running? What have you had good luck with? What have you bought for your truck because it's got 300, 400,000 miles that you're unhappy with in your personal life? Like, everybody's going to feel different, but what do you guys feel? Seth.
Justin will have service again, but
no, I got service. I'm here.
Oh, there you go. I've tried the Ironman highway ones. Those are okay in the summer, not winter. They're really cheap.
What kind of mileage you get out of them? Do you remember?
Not a lot, like 50,000, something like that. Okay. Now, I'm not rotating. I have outside aluminum wheels, inside steel, and it just costs too much to rotate, which is why I keep going cheap tires. Now, I have Transforce H2s or HT, whatever. I have those on the front as like a steer tire, and I have Ironman Thrashers on the back. The Thrashers worked excellent for me for winter, I don't know how long they're going to last now that it's kind of summer.
Yeah.
But I was able to go a lot of places I couldn't normally go with this 2-wheel drive truck with those thrashers on there this winter. So I'll definitely do that again next winter. But I don't know that these are going to last me through the summer. You know, like I'm not going to get 100,000 miles out of them or nothing.
Right.
You know. So, but they're cheap.
How many miles do you
I
have
paid
on them right now?
620. I knew you were going to ask me, and I'm not sure. They were super cheap though, like $620 for 4 of them installed.
Right.
So even if they last me 50,000 miles,
oh, 100%.
I can buy another set, go another 50,000 miles, and it's like buying a good set, right?
Exactly.
I just can't rotate. So that's my biggest problem. Like if I was going to buy another truck tomorrow, I would look for steel wheels right away. Either buy it with steel wheels or take the aluminums off and sell them while they're new and just buy steel wheels, you know?
Yep.
But now it's too late. Like my rims aren't worth anything, you know? Yeah, I could go buy
Right.
steel wheels, but I do like how it looks. So
No, 100%. I agree with that. So
yeah.
So that's pretty much the only couple
Yeah.
sets you've ran in the 400,000 miles that you can
Yeah,
remember.
so
Let's
the
put it that way.
the Transforce H2s, I'm getting from Friendly Tire in Goshen or in Middlebury, and they're like new takeoffs off of like the chassis trucks that they're making into campers and stuff like that.
Okay.
So he sells them pretty cheap. I think it was like $140 a tire or something installed, or 150.
Not anymore. Prices went up, bud.
Yeah. No
Everybody's gonna be going to them. You just have them on yourself.
No, it's fine. Like he has like an overabundance of them. It's not
Okay.
You know, like all these trucks that, you know, all these chassis that are coming in and they're putting like the oversized tires and all that stuff on and make these campers look cool but not handle well. That's the tires he's getting. So, you know, there's a lot of other than that, like the first set that came on this truck was I think they were Goodyear. You remember what was yours, Justin? Do you remember when you bought your
Michelin's.
black one new? Michelin, yeah, there you go. And those did last me okay. Those did last me okay, like 60 to 80,000, but they're expensive. Like, you know, and I wasn't hauling, like the first 60,000 miles of my truck wasn't all multi-haul, you know, so I was in that process of getting started and all that. So I don't know how long they would last me today, but I don't want to spend the $1,600 to find out.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin,
mine would have gone longer, but do what?
I said, what your, sorry, I can't talk, guys. What's your experience with your tires, and what have you had on your trucks in the couple years you've been doing this?
Oh man, I've had all kinds of different tires. The Michelins that came on the black truck probably would have gone 100,000. In fact, I still have them. They're actually in Seth's backyard.
Yeah, they are.
But
free.
Yeah.
$10 a month storage. You're on month 4, but
100 months minimum.
Yes. But I've run Goodyears and Michelins, and right now I got a set of Toyos AT3s on this brown truck. I really like them. Right now they've got about 60,000 miles on them. So we'll see how they work out. They're probably, I don't know, I need to measure them, but I'll bet they're at 60,000 miles. I bet they're probably half tread, maybe something like that, in that neighborhood.
So you're getting good mileage out of them.
So far, we'll see. I mean, I do rotate them. About every 10,000 miles, I've rotated them around, which makes a huge difference.
Now, you have aluminum wheels on your truck, correct?
Yes.
How do you rotate yours?
Tire machine.
So you pop them off the bead and actually do the full dismount, all that every
It's
time.
the only way to do it.
Always on the road? Tired of cheap gas station toilet paper? Or maybe none at all? Get yourself some dude wipes. No one likes an itchy butt. Link below.
I figured I paid almost $300 a piece for those tires. I'm going to rotate them. Now I put those Thrasher tires on the black truck on the 350. We'll see how they last. They were cheap. But they got really good traction in the snow. They did really good. Probably some of the best snow tires I've ever run. Like, no joke. I'm not, whatever. I'm not trying to exaggerate. They did really, really good. Plowing snow, a lot of times I'd have to lock in my axles to get through some of that big drifts or whatever. Because usually I'm the lead truck plowing streets or whatever, and I didn't have to do that. So I don't know what. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, like on my truck, every truck's gonna be a little differences. My personal preference is like for a 3/4 ton, 1 ton single rear wheel short bed truck, BFG KO2s are getting me 100,000+. Keep them rotated every, like I said, 10,000 miles. And then the Goodyear Platinum LTXs or something like that. They look goofy because it's like straight tread in the center with like some little sipens underneath it, and then some edges. And I'm getting 120, 130,000 out of those. They ride smooth and they're quiet. So either one of those I kind of recommend. So it's kind of one of those to each their own scenarios, but they seem to work. So
In the comments, Robert Cross brought AMSOIL through Steve's link. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that. I need to reach out.
I don't know what
get a talk. So
he said he's running a Bridgestone KO2. I don't know what that is. I guess
my guess is probably a BFG because I also do KO2s in Bridgestone.
That's exactly.
I could be wrong. So Robert, go ahead and throw that if it was there. So it may have been a quick little mix up or something, but I believe it's a BFG.
See farmers trying to get blocked.
He wants to know Justin's negotiation skills.
What's that?
We're not talking about that. The old ladies of the night negotiation skills you got.
D-Cross also said he's used Firestone Destination ATs, Michelin, Cooper AT2, and now the KO3s.
I'm curious on the KO3s because I've seen some good things. Who was a Bees, I think, had the KO3, right, Justin? And he had some major vibration.
Yeah, so he went through 2 or 3, or he may even went through a whole set of tires before they finally got it to smooth out. I can't remember. But I know
difference.
He had a heck of a time. They were putting like 15, 20 ounces on the tire on the balance.
Smoke.
Oh yeah.
That's
and they were doing, not only were they doing like the regular balance, but they were trying to do like road force or something.
Yep.
I'm not familiar with that. But yeah,
so what that has is you got your tire that spins around, then they have another drum that goes the other way, and it's supposed to simulate the force of the actual vehicle on the road and find out where the difference is on the tire. So you can actually pop the bead, rotate it like 60 degrees to get the spots to equal out, and then reseat it, and then it should balance out smoother. A lot of people just throw a tire on and they don't realize that. So
yeah, and when I don't know, everybody knows this or not, but when I rotate my tires, I do it myself. On the tire itself, typically somewhere like right along the bead, kind of where it mounts up to the edge of the rim of the tire, there'll be two triangles, and you want to put the valve stem in between those two triangles. And then I just throw a bag of balancing beads in there and call her good. I have, when I bought tires from the tire shop and they put, the amount weight on it, I've had trouble. But when I do it that way myself, I haven't had any problems. Now, next time I do it, I'm going to have trouble now that I said that. But anyhow.
Yeah. I've never used balancing beads, so that's kind of good to know. I've heard of them. I've heard pros and I've heard cons. So.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't like them. Convenience factor. I mean, I don't know. I did buy a balancing machine, so.
Who'd you get that from?
I don't know. Some random guy.
Random guy on Facebook.
So, Justin, are you ever going to do single pull again?
Highly unlikely. Only if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
Can't master saying what's up. I like horizontal. Yeah. Can't master saying what's up. I like horizontal view. We have vertical and horizontal running, so we're just trying something new. Continental HD2 with Centromatic harmonic balancers. What is that?
I don't know what the hell that is.
I've heard of it. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know if that's like just the rings that go on it or what. So
don't have any idea. Questions I ain't got answers to, boys.
David Bolton, I've got north of 70,000 on my Transforce H2s currently. Still have good tread on them. I also rotate every 10,000 miles when changing oil. Yeah. So,
good plan.
Getting the good mileage has to do with, rotating them for sure. Like my truck
parts too, 100% keep up on shocks and tight wheel bearings and.
Yeah.
Like my truck, David, I don't know if you're doing single pull or multi-haul, but like I'm loaded all the time. So I always have weight on those back dual tires and it eats them fast. Like it doesn't matter. Yes. Like I could spend $2,000 on a set of tires for the back. It's going to eat them. And it's, it's just the high torque of a Ford that spins the tires.
Yeah. Just burning that rubber off of them.
Excuse me, guys. Got to get my boots on.
Horsepower can't handle it.
You guys, like when you go to the car wash, every time you go to the car wash and you go to leave, like you have to just hit that throttle.
Let her have it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
David is doing.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not gonna lie. Those Michelin tires in that black truck would have lasted a hell of a lot longer. But after I did things and stuff with it, we probably used it a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She will do a full-on 4-tire layer down.
I'm trying not to ignore Chris, but he went and said that he's thinking about going with Amazon, and they said if he reaches out, we'll help to service it. We can make something happen, Chris.
Yeah, put that ram on Steve's daddy's lift. He said, Chris also said he was rotating his tires every 10,000, but he's going to stop because it's $160 every time we rotate them. Yeah,
that's expensive. By the time you add that up over the life of them, you can buy a set of tires almost, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have your own tire changer, rotating them on a dually is not cost effective.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless you have all steel wheels and you can turn them and make them work. Yeah.
Make them all go.
Air pressure also very important.
Yes.
I have TPS sensors and I'm always trying to keep them within a few pounds. It's hard, but
yeah.
What do you guys
check
run?
My tires every week.
What do you run on pressures? Like if you're doing your maintenance right now and you're checking your tires, where are you setting it?
75.
Okay. All 6?
All of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justin, see, I run 80. So all my tires are in 80. I've noticed I was getting some feathering and some angles on the outside where the Michelin's, the centers would be like 9/32 and the edges would be like 4. And I'm like, I'm not messing with that. I'm not messing with DOT. I get a new set of tires, grand. That's 100,000 miles or whatever. And I've noticed if I run at 80 PSI, it's a little bit rougher of a ride. You get a little bit more squirrely going over some interchanges at times because it'll bounce, but I can keep my tires nice and flat. So,
well, I've noticed pulling the trailer all the time that if you set them at 75 and then you get rolling, they'll go to 80.
right.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Oh yeah, mine will be 85. I mean, during summer I've seen them to 90, but as long as I set them 80 cold, they're able to hold it, being that 13, the low range E. So yeah, 120 psi on that. What is that on? That has to be on a big rig or something. That's a lot in a truck.
Well, no, a 19.5 on a 450. That's what it would be.
Okay.
Yeah,
a
commercial tire would be like it'd be anywhere from 110 to 120.
Dang, that's a lot of air. Anyone have issues with the Ford dually aluminum wheels leaking air from the corrosion around the valve stem? I'm not a Ford guy, but I have cleaned many, many valve stems in my day.
Yes.
This guy.
Yes.
Yes.
22.5 F550 is what he's running with that air. That's
that sounds right.
Out of my league right there.
That sounds 100%.
So since we're
seeing those comments, but
okay, it probably just has to load or something. But that was the last one that came up. Repairs, right? Let's go ahead and touch that subject that nobody wants to know is what do you do? Like, are you breaking down the road? Who are you calling? What's going on? You got a maintenance. Well, Seth already touched on it. You either have to have maintenance or a credit card. So let's get to your side of that, Justin. I mean,
I'll fix it.
Fix yourself, but
I'll man up and make it happen. It's happened several times. It just is what it is. I pushed it to where I could get to an auto parts store to make it happen. That's why I carry front hubs, because I lost one and I pushed my luck about 15 miles with that thing snapped off, just creeping to get to auto parts. You got to make it happen. I can't afford to be calling, for a tow truck or whatever. We gotta go. It happened today. I was talking to Seth and I was like, I think my truck just ran out of fuel. Sure as shit, it ran out of fuel, and I coasted it, I don't know, half a mile or something to get fuel, and I found out the hard way that at a quarter of a tank, this truck's out of fuel. But I don't usually run it that low.
You won't ever do it again either.
Hell no.
I'm not going to lie. There's been a few times that I said, oh, that little 10 miles to the go, it's a lie. I can make it. And yeah. Luckily, every time I've had something, a few drips, a few gallons in the back, or I was too lazy to open the 91 gallons in the back, so I just had to stop and open it. But I think everybody tends to do it because you're like, the next cheap fuel stop's only 5 minutes up the road. We're going to stop and top off anyways. It'll be fine. And it sometimes isn't.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was on the south side of South Bend, and I was trying to go over to the Pilot, and I was like, well, hell, I got a quarter of a tank. I got plenty, Well, I didn't have a quarter of a tank. I had not a damn thing.
Yeah. And let's be real. Let's put it out there. If you're doing that, it's not good on your stuff. It's not good on your truck pump. It's not good on the internal pump. It's not good on your CP4. It's not good on whatever you got. I don't care what name brand or whatever. You're hurting your truck. I guarantee that's why my in-tank fuel pump, my lift pump went out way before everybody else's, because when you do that 2 or 3 times being stupid, it's going to hurt something.
Yeah. I don't like to get mine under like 100 miles till empty. Like that's it's a good. There's times where I get to 50 miles. Like I'm trying to push to get to a place, but that means you have like 5 gallons in there. You're
right.
Yeah, I usually don't run it under half a tank, and so I just whatever. It just circumstances today that got me to where I was, but.
Oh, and there's certain times you can't help it when you all of a sudden, you say, okay, I know I can make it to this spot. I've been to this spot. I know I got enough there, but you had a little more headwind that day. or you know what I mean.
Whatever.
Some was just it was colder, so you weren't getting as good a fuel economy or whatever at that point. So
Yeah.
So back onto like the repairs. Have you guys ever had something go on with one of your vehicles that because you spent so much time in it, somebody tried to tell you it was normal and it wasn't?
No.
Justin?
No.
Nobody? So
No. I was thinking, I need like 4 seconds to think, like, process.
No matter which brand you drive, keep them running like new with Hotshot Super Everyday Diesel Treatment. Link below.
No, you need it now.
Yeah.
So,
This
I just
isn't
want
a
to bring it
script,
up.
Steve. I can't just read the next line. I gotta think.
I just want to bring it up because, like, I just want to I had issues, right? So my truck is down, and I went ahead and said, no, there's something wrong with my truck. I've spent 680,000 miles in this truck, countless of idle hours, hearing the way this thing runs and drives and feels, and sometimes you just have to trust your instinct and say, that's not right. I took it to a couple people. They said, oh yeah, that's normal. It'll be fine. And come to find out, things were not as fine as everybody thought they would have been. Luckily, because I knew my truck, I listened to my truck. Like Seth said, do your maintenance, listen to it, get a feel for it. You're spending hours in this thing. Pay attention to every squeak, rattle, creak, anything you can, because I caught it soon enough that it didn't come into a full motor or a full tear down or send it out to the machine shop. Granted, not together yet, let's be real, but hopefully tomorrow, next day, something like that. So it's great. So Chris Jacobs says 10% of what the truck makes goes into the repair fund. That is a standard practice for a lot of people. I will preach it till I'm blue in the face. I'll be honest with you. I'm horrible at it. Don't do it. Should do it. Learn from my mistakes. I'm real, right? I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. Call me on my BS all you want. I don't.
I'm always like, oh, I could take that $200 to pay this. Yep, do it. Pay it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what. Yeah.
100%.
But do have a way. Make sure you have access to some funds somehow. Whether it's your dad that says that he's going to back you if something goes wrong, or a bank that will loan you money if something goes wrong, or a credit card, or your wife hides money from you so that you won't fail. Whatever it is, like make sure there's something, and then if your truck's paid off, make sure you have the ability to get another one if you need to, or
I mean, let's be real. If your truck's paid off,
have a backup.
The way that the system should be ran is 10% of your gross on your truck should go into a maintenance fund. And then if, like, Seth's about to pay off his truck, if not already did, because I know he's super close, that truck fund that he's paying, that, let's call it $500 a month. I know it's probably more, could be less, whatever. Put that $500 a month in your maintenance fund until you have enough money to either have a great down payment or buy a new truck. That's the way I recommend. That's why I do it.
I'm like, I'm gonna have an extra $900 a month. What am I gonna do?
Exactly.
I can stay home. I can stay home 2 more days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chris said if his fuel gauge starts dropping, he's stopping to get fuel. Yeah. Fritz Duvall, do you guys idle overnight?
100%.
Yes.
More than we like to admit. Yes.
I only do it all day. I became bougie this year. Normally, I used to be able to go to like 15, 20 degrees during the winter. Not this year. Nope. I've been
a lot. If I'm going on a trip, when I fire it up to leave the house, it don't turn off till I get back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Oh, there's been I've been gone for a week, and literally, like Justin said, especially like if it's negative out, 100% my truck will shut off maybe for 5 minutes over a 5-6 day span.
Yeah, I don't turn it off when I buy fuel. I don't turn it off when I unload. I let it run. As long as I'm not having mechanical failure, she's running.
I turn mine off at night. I don't turn it off during the day. and I'll let it idle for like an hour at least at night before I shut it off. And I'm either cranking the heat to where I'm in here sweating, or I'm turning it all the way cold AC until I'm freezing, and then I shut it off and I sleep until I can't sleep no more, and then I'll wake up and I'll start it. And so it gets shut off like maybe 4 hours.
Yep.
In extreme weathers. Now, if the weather's perfect, I'll crack the windows 4 or 5 inches, and just turn it off and sleep. But I'm looking at my engine hours right now. So engine hours 10,963. Engine idle hours 3,689. So it's done its share of idling.
I think my truck engine hours, granted, we can go into the different engine, blah, 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 but the truck's hours on the dash, if I'm not mistaken, is like 15,000 and some change on there. And that's with 680,000 miles. So like, I'm curious how mine calculates it to how yours calculates it, because you're at 13,000 at 400,000 miles. So how am I almost at 700 and I'm only 2,000 more hours than you? So I'm wondering if mine is only, I don't know if mine's only idle or if it's full engine runtime period. Don't know how GM does it.
But you probably drive a lot faster than me.
Yeah.
On the way home. Definitely on the way home.
Yeah.
I could do it too.
Yeah, like probably 20 mile an hour faster.
Yep.
Yeah. FYI, TPTC charged $15.95 to rotate tires. Totally off subject, I know, but I saw what Chris James said about this. So is that, David, is that a dually where they have to dismount and remount and rebalance? Because if it is, that's really cheap. And what is TPTC?
Okay, I thought I was the only one here.
Yeah.
I was confused.
That's Steve. You know what that is?
Oh, is that the
place
Horizon Wave place?
Yeah. Yes. That is not for a dually. That is definitely for a single rear wheel.
So this is my 2 cents, right? Just a real quick touch on his basis. If you go to a discount tire, a Bell tire, I'm not saying you're gonna get the best people in the world. I'm not saying you're getting the worst. I don't know. You can buy your tires and get the rotate lifetime plan, blah, blah, blah. They will rotate, they will balance, they will do everything built into your tire. So if it's a $1,300 tire package for $1,300, you're getting lifetime everything. And there's Bell tires across, not fully across the country, but a good amount of spaces to where you don't always have to be in Goshen to do it. That's my recommendation of where to buy your tires, because if you buy some place that's a local place, unless you're getting a steal of a deal, you're going to pay for it over the next 60, 80, 100,000 miles. My 2 cents, right? Take it as you want.
We will. How do you think F350 holds up for CDL hotshot work compared to an F450? If I think for me, like F350, if you're not going over 26,000, you're going to be fine. If you're getting into that 30,000 weight range, that kind of stuff, definitely go F450.
Yep.
You're going to have heavier brakes, better steering, all that.
What's the weight difference? Do you know, Seth, like on your Luma duty, if you had a 450 or anything like that?
It's not much.
I think because like at that point, other than price, the weight's going to be your next thing, right? So like, let's say they're both 100,000 each.
Yeah.
The next is your weight that you're worried about. So at that point, why wouldn't you want to jump up for the 450 for, them kind of options?
Well, okay.
If the money's the same.
F450, you're gonna have better brakes, better steering, all that, but you're also gonna pay more for brakes. It's right. You're gonna have to source those parts that are maybe not at every AutoZone.
I haven't had any trouble.
The parts aren't. Yeah, I'm sure you haven't, but I'm saying like it's probably not as common as F350.
If you're up in North Dakota, that's what I mean. It's gonna be harder to source some certain parts. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Metropolis areas.
And I don't know. Are F450s that much more money? I don't know. Probably a little bit.
As far as to buy one?
Like
new.
Yeah, like buy a new.
Use. Like if you look at a 2019 F350, platinum. Let's go platinum, right? F350 19, F450 19 platinum, like top of the line, bells and whistles. What are you talking ballpark? 5?
I've been
10,000?
looking
Out of my
I've-
price range. That's what you're talking
yeah, I've been looking on Facebook, and as far as the used market goes, they're pretty close. They're pretty close to the same. I know the Ford dealer, kind of by where I live, that they've got several 450s and 350 dualies, and they have 2 black ones, a 450 and a 350, that are like screaming, "Come buy me!" And they're lariats, I think. And the 350 is like 82,000, and the 450 is like 79. So the 450 is actually cheaper.
Okay, I just want to make sure you didn't say that wrong. I was just about to add that. So 450 is actually cheaper. So
Yes.
like in that case scenario, if you're looking, why would you not upgrade to the 450?
Yes.
If you're in the market, right? If you're in the market for 80 grand.
If you have, I think if you have a CDL, it would be, yeah.
It's a good
If you
idea.
have a CDL.
Because he's saying for CDL
Because-
hotshot work compared to, so I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
the few hundred
Yeah.
pounds maybe between a
Because-
Y-track axle or whatever ain't going to add up to much.
Because the GVWR on a 450 is going to be higher than a 350. So
Yes.
if you have a CDL, yes, go for 450. If you don't, like me, go 350.
I know I've heard it multiple times from multiple different people. 1 tons do not belong in this realm because it's like they don't have the ability to hold up for a long time. So it's like you're kind of not wasting your money, but you know what I mean? Like you should either say screw it and go a little less, or screw it and go a little more. It's like you're kind of overkill in the middle type thing is what a lot of people say.
Yeah. Chris James saying he has it set up through Bennett. Must be to take out his 10%, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think some companies will do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Horizon, you can say, hey, I want 5, 10, 20, whatever. You can choose your percentage taken out of your settlement or out of your thing, and they'll keep it at the bank. The downfall to that is A, they're collecting money off of your money. So, if you put it into a bank account, you're going to get a little bit of interest. And B, if it's a Saturday or Sunday, can you get your money? That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris, my suggestion to you, Chris, is get a savings account and have them send it directly to that. But Justin, Steve, y'all trust that Wave repair facility? Probably not.
I've never heard anything. I've heard good and I've heard bad. I think it just depends on what you're doing. Ultimately, your best bet is to do your own maintenance once again, because then what happened, what's going on with it. I get it's not always feasible, but if possible, do your own.
Fritz Duvall saying he has a Honda generator with a sundial heater. I do too. I have a Honda generator with a little heater. I use that sometimes. But a lot of times I'm just lazy, and I'll run it for an hour or two, shut off for 4, start it again. Yeah. What's up with Team RV?
Generator's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, generator, solar panels with good batteries. All could be, help you save money for sure.
Good ideas.
Yeah, I'm not telling you idling
Yeah.
your truck is the best way, point blank. Like that's just our way.
Yeah.
Not the way.
Yeah. Yeah, our trucks come with a built-in
Team
heater
RVs
and AC.
A little bit of diesel, I can
Yeah.
I can get my built-in AC and heater working.
Did you say their Team RV's bond is $2,500?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. Is that single or multi? That would be the next
That
question.
is steep.
I've heard most of them go up to where they do have higher ones. So I don't know if that's because they're self-insured, so they want you to pay a little bit more. Don't know the ins and outs of that.
Oh,
Chris said that with Bennett, you can get up to two grand any time of the day. If you need more, then you have to call them during business hours. Okay.
That's pretty sweet.
So you could get out of you get towed or you get out of a bind, whatever.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
We do need to wrap this up, guys. We're hitting 1 hour.
Yeah.
So he's doing single is $2,500. Yeah, that's something I dig into personally. That's a lot of money out of your pocket, but at the same time, it is what it is, right? It's part of it. There's a lot of
Who said that?
in this. Fritz.
Oh, I thought he was going to Wave. Maybe not.
He's probably just keeping his options open, asking questions. No big deal.
It could be.
It's one of those things that it's you got your little things in it that is what it is.
Maybe he doesn't like cows and campers.
It could be. Yeah. He probably doesn't.
Well, in that case, corner, Horizon, hit us up. No fuel discount. So anybody who is needing a different option for fuel discount is ES Advantage is a great one to do. I know we've talked about it before. So that just gives you an extra option to load funds from your bank account and still get fuel discounts. So not saying you're going to get as good as a big company will, because I can tell you my Horizon discounts are better, but it gives you a different option, gives you better perks. And if you go to a place like that where they don't have a fuel discount, but you everything else, there's your option.
Yep.
Yeah. Them showers and free showers add up.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming. This live is working way better than last week. And yeah, we appreciate it. All the questions you guys ask helps us be able to talk to you guys better. It helps us know what people are looking for. So if you guys think of stuff through, between now and Wednesday, put it in the comments. This video will be live for another 5-10 minutes. If you're only partway through, you're going to get cut off. But it will be reposted tomorrow. So, whatever comments you guys want us to talk about next week, if you think about it, or on Wednesday, sorry, go to the last video and throw it in the comments so that we can see it and we can answer them for you guys. And definitely check out all of our links. Check out everybody's YouTube channels. Look for new videos. Make sure you're subscribed to them. Make sure you have the little bell ring so you get notifications.
Yep.
And if you guys are buying Hotshot or any kind of products like that, go look at it through us. It doesn't cost you any more to use our stuff, but it does help us be able to keep this going. This does cost money to make this happen. It's not free. And, there's different programs we're using that cost money. So anything you guys can do, the links is the best way to help us keep this running. So
I do believe, just throw it out there, that we all have our own email. So if there's something personally that you just want to ask real quick, I know on my channel, on all my videos, I have an email that you can get a hold of me. So if it's something that you want, you want more specific, you want more down and dirty, you want to go back and forth, I believe we all have them. Definitely reach out. We're definitely here to help anybody any way we can.
Yep.
And the last
you don't have to be a referral. Go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
The last thing to add in is if you guys are looking for a video editor, if you have a newer channel and you're looking for somebody to help you get it going with some videos, whatnot, email the Mr. Pickup Trucker podcast and he'll help you get going, either make a few videos for you for pretty cheap, or you guys can do it forever or whatever, but he can help you with that process. So anyway, that's all I have. I'll end with, don't forget to pray for your country. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Later.
See you guys.